The night I heard my brother's voice downstairs. I woke to a sound that didn't belong in my house. It wasn't the creak of the old staircase or the hum of the refrigerator. Those were familiar. This was different. A muffled laugh. A man's laugh. For a few seconds, I lay there frozen, my pulse drumming in my ears. My wife, Leah, was supposed to be asleep beside me. But her side of the bed was empty. Still warm but empty. At first, I told myself I was imagining things. Maybe she'd gone downstairs for a glass of water. Maybe the sound was from the TV. But then I heard it again. A quiet murmur, followed by a soft, breathy giggle that turned my stomach cold. And then the unmistakable sound of a man whispering her name. Leah and I had been married for 8 years. We'd built this life together piece by piece. Mortgage payments, shared dreams, Friday takeout, little arguments over laundry. Nothing glamorous, just real. She was my anchor after a string of failed jobs and my mother's death. I used to think she saw something in me that nobody else did. And then my brother Nate showed up. He'd been homeless for nearly a year after his construction business went under. I hadn't seen him in months. Our relationship was complicated, to put it mildly. Growing up, he'd always been the golden one. Confident, charming, the kind of man people naturally liked. I was the quieter brother, the one who stayed out of trouble. When I found him sleeping in his car by the river, shivering under a blanket, I didn't think twice. I told him he could stay with us until he got back on his feet. Leah didn't protest, at least not out loud. She'd said, "He's family, Mark. We'll figure it out." I thought that was love speaking. Turns out it was something else entirely. The night I heard those voices, I sat up, my chest tight, my mind spinning between disbelief and dread. I slipped on my robe, careful not to make a sound. Each step down the hallway felt heavier than the last. Halfway down the stairs, I heard movement in the living room. Then silence. A long, heavy silence. I stood there, heart pounding, gripping the banister so hard my knuckles ached. "Leah," I said quietly. No answer. But I could hear breathing. Tusette, rest, Neven. When I rounded the corner, the lamp by the sofa was on, dim and yellow. And there they were. Leah sat on the couch in her nightgown, her hair messy, her face pale. Nate was beside her, shirtless, frozen like a child caught stealing. Her hand was still on his arm. For a moment none of us moved. Time simply. "Stop. What the hell is this?" I asked, though I already knew. Leah's lips parted, but no words came out. Nate stood up slowly, avoiding my eyes. "Mark, please," she whispered. "It's not what you think." I laughed, a sound so hollow it barely felt human. "Then tell me what it is. Because from where I'm standing, it looks exactly like what I think." They both started talking at once. Broken sentences, excuses tripping over each other. He was upset. We were just talking. I made a mistake. I felt like I was outside my own body, watching the scene unfold from somewhere far away. The woman I'd trusted more than anyone. The brother I'd tried to save. "How long?" I asked. My voice cracked on the second word. Neither answered. "How long?" I repeated louder this time. Leah flinched. "A few weeks," she said softly. "It just happened. Just happened. Like a car accident. Like spilled coffee." Nate rubbed the back of his neck, staring at the floor. "I didn't mean for it to go this far, man. I swear." "You didn't mean for it to go this far?" said. "You slept with my wife under my roof while I was upstairs." I stopped myself before I lost control. "Get out. Mark. Get out." He hesitated, then grabbed his jacket from the chair. I didn't even look at him as he walked to the door. The click of it closing behind him was the only sound in the room. Leah stood there, tears streaming silently down her cheeks. "Say something," she whispered. I wanted to. God, I wanted to scream, to throw something, to demand an explanation that could somehow make it all make sense. But all I could do was stare at her, the woman I thought I knew better than anyone, and realize I didn't know her at all. The next morning the house felt different. Emptier, colder. Nate's duffel bag was gone, but his presence still lingered in the air like smoke. Leah tried to talk over breakfast, but her words felt like knives dulled by guilt. "I know you hate me," she said. "But please, just listen." I said nothing. She took a deep breath. "It started after he moved in. He was lost, broken. I felt sorry for him. We talked a lot when you were at work. I thought I was helping him." Clenched my jaw. "Helping him?" She nodded weakly. "Then one night, I don't know. It just happened. I hated myself for it, Mark. Every single day." "You could have told me," I said quietly. "You could have told me before it turned into this." Tears spilled down her face. "I didn't want to destroy you." A bitter laugh escaped me. "You already did." The days that followed were a blur. I went through the motions, work, shower, sleep, but everything felt hollow. I couldn't look at her without seeing his hands on her. I couldn't look in the mirror without feeling stupid for letting it happen under my own roof. I moved into the guest room. She didn't protest. The silence between us grew thicker with each passing day. One night, about a week later, I found Nate sitting outside in his car. He looked thinner, ragged. "I just wanted to apologize again," he said. "I know you'll never forgive me, but I had to say it." I stared at him through the window. "You didn't just betray me," I said. "You took advantage of the only person who ever tried to help you. You took advantage of her weakness, and mine." He lowered his head. "I know." I wanted to punch him. To make him feel a fraction of the pain that had been eating me alive. But I didn't. I just turned and walked away. A month later, Leah packed her bags. "I'm going to stay with my sister for a while," she said. "You deserve space." I didn't stop her. When the door closed behind her, I sat in the empty living room, staring at the spot where I'd found them that night. The lamp still stood there, casting its dull yellow light. I wanted to smash it, but instead I just turned it off. Healing wasn't dramatic. It was slow, quiet. I started running again. I deleted old photos. I stopped checking my phone every time I heard a notification, hoping it wasn't her. She called once months later. Said she'd filed for divorce. Her voice trembled when she told me she'd seen Nate again in town, living in a shelter, struggling to stay sober. "He asked about you," she said. "Said he misses his brother." I didn't respond. "Do you?" she asked softly. I thought about it for a long moment before saying, "No." It's been over a year now. The house is mine again, though sometimes I still wake up expecting to hear that laugh from downstairs. It's funny how betrayal echoes. It lingers long after the people are gone. Some nights, I find myself sitting on the porch, staring at the street where Nate's car used to be parked. I wonder if there was a moment, just one, where either of them thought about what they were doing, about what they were destroying. I don't think I'll ever know. But I've learned something I wish I hadn't. Betrayal doesn't end when the door slams shut. It seeps into the cracks of who you are, reshaping you, making you harder, quieter, maybe even stronger. And sometimes late at night, when the house creaks and the wind moves through the trees, I still hear that laugh, the one that woke me up. Only now I get up, walk downstairs, and remind myself there's no one there. Not anymore.